everyone, welcome into DomTime. Story that has just starting to develop, I believe, and we have two great guys to talk about it tonight. The building collapse at 22nd and Market. Since this has happened a couple of weeks ago, we've had, sadly, an L&I inspector commit suicide. We have debate back and forth about how connected was it to that building collapse and what L&I did or did not do. And one of the issues that came up immediately, and I have to say, Pat, to his credit on my radio show, did not go, Dom, if this had been union, it wouldn't have happened. But John, I would say, John Featherman, that usually, I'm in opposition to some of the tactics over here, but I think by and large, it would not have happened. That's not endorsing over-regulation or whatever. Would you dispute that? You think
I absolutely would.
Why?
I would ask you for evidence. I would ask you for evidence, and this is good research that people should be doing at universities. Take a sample size of maybe 100 different union-run projects, 100 different non-union run projects, and look at the safety 5, 10, 15 years later.
Here's what I'll be more precise, John. I'm not sure if they're better or worse on minor sorts of incidents with unions. You may be right. But I don't picture a union in Philadelphia, a union project, tearing down a building like these maniacs, in my view, did.
Yeah, let me just say, because don't make it union, non-union. Make it legitimate contractor and legitimate developer. Because what's going to get lost here, if we keep looking around to pick your usual fights, is we're going to lose sight of the unscrupulous business folks who are coming in to take advantage of a real estate market that has been, according to all the real estate developers in New York, our real estate is so underpriced, and there are a lot of people are coming in. And I just killed a brown recluse spider, all right, which is very good. The idea is, would that happen where a contractor abiding by all the rules and the normal protocols that this kind of work
wait a minute,
calls
abiding,
for?
But we have something called L&I. This is government dysfunction again.
Yeah, you're
Government
right.
can't
You're
work,
right, but listen,
they don't work.
I can't listen. Look at the contractors. They have who were there.
Right.
They had crazy histories that with blemishes.
Right.
And look, and I don't cast aspersions on anybody. Anybody can pick themselves up and make mistakes, but it's just too coincidental that the price that the developer had was $250,000, and he selected someone allegedly for $10,000 with records of criminality with the police, and both that contractor and his subcontractor who was operating that
have
piece
long
of equipment
police records.
Have
All
police
right, now,
records.
John, is that the free market run amok without any even hand here?
Well, I mean, there are a lot of people that have police records. There are unions that have police records. In fact, it was even mentioned in the Philadelphia Inquirer that the police believe that the Quaker Meeting House site that was burned down was done by unions. That's what they believe. So, I mean, the answer is you can have people who are non-union who have police records. You can have people that are union that have police records.
Burning down, number one, it wasn't a burn down. It was some kind of crazy vandalism that occurred. And for you to try to mix that, you just want to pick a fight. Now, I'm fine to fight with you because I don't think you make much sense when you talk, but let's just stay on this because this is a serious issue. This is, if we don't find a remedy for this, this will be repeated time and time again.
Okay, well, let me turn it to that. John, first, what would your remedy be to this? What are some of the things you need to think should come out
Well,
of
the
this
remedy
whole
has got to be that we've got to reform L&I. Expanding L&I is not the solution, because L&I throughout history in Philadelphia has been a very corrupt organization. The answer is we've shown that L&I didn't work. We have to rebuild it. We have to have a new organization that doesn't have corruption, that does make sure. I mean, the thing that no one has really spoken about is why the Salvation Army was open when they were doing the demolition.
Because they're allowed to be open.
Should be, but it's irrelevant
They
whether
have
they
to
were
be
allowed
protected.
to be.
No,
but
no.
even if they were protected, it's common sense that if you're knocking down a building, you evaluate the evacuate next door.
If you're knocking down, then it's the responsibility of the people in charge of that project to protect the property that they make. You have to have netting, you have to have scaffolding, you have to have a process by which you, instead of going west with the debris, you go east with it.
I agree with you.
You go back into, well, we know how to do that. There are protocols that have to be followed. And what happened here was, well, I mean, L&I, they don't have those kinds of protocols.
Would you agree that, though, that, John's right, but reforming L&I, I find this to be almost laughable. It is a corrupt
I think, first of all,
organization.
Dominic, we have to have, because what we found is that this contractor, the
Right.
main contractor, he has 5 or 6 sites all over the place. Well, you have to find out, well, how is that happening? And what is it? And it, you know, this happens a lot in row house neighborhoods where you're knocking down the building in the middle of the block. Well, the 2 party walls are going to be impacted
Right,
by
and
that.
nobody seems to care.
You have
because,
to shore those
right,
up.
Exactly.
You have to underpin those kinds, and
Right.
it's not a lot of money. See, they make it sound like it's not. You just
All right,
have to care about
let me
it.
throw in something here. My pitch would be this: we need a viable Republican Party or another party in town, because if not, who does the mayor answer to? You guys are on him now a bit, but you supported him. You helped to put him in office.
Let's. No, I didn't support it. One of.
Well, you
let's-
support Democrats, so Pat.
I
don't,
support. Wait a minute, I support Republicans.
well,
Don't
that's
say
true too.
that.
You've supported,
Yeah.
but in Philadelphia, you don't. Don't we need a viable party to
Taylor's
keep
a
these
Republican. I
to
think
keep
we
these 2
support him.
parties after each other?
As a matter of fact, he's a Republican chairman now, John Taylor. We supported him his whole career.
You support him now that he's the head of the
Sure,
Republicans in Philadelphia?
sure.
Oh, that's good news here. That's good to hear.
Listen, Dominic, you know, you have to get things done. We live in a community where an older community, it requires a lot of tending to. You have to pay attention to it, and that's what's not happening now. People are coming in and are trying to gobble up things and coming in and working on projects in a slipshod way, and you know, I don't want to go down on 12th Street, but they brought a crane in there, and everybody saluted. Oh yeah, they had to sneak the crane in. That crane was not certified. The people operating that crane were not licensed.
But
to do
Pat, we're
that.
talking for viewers about the Pestrunk brothers, who are, some people are saying they're really changing the union stranglehold on Philadelphia.
Well,
and
I,
they
don't,
have
I wish
sneak
I had a stranglehold someplace. I wish I had that kind of mark. We have so much unemployment; it's unbelievable. I mean, these fellows were not union. I mean, and
Right.
there's a lot of that, unfortunately.
Okay, I got to go to a break, but we'll come back with John Featherman, Pat Gillespie, talking what are some of the things that have to be reformed and some of the things that have happened with this building collapse. That's straight ahead on DomTime.